Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, this video was supposed to be uploaded, however, the whole file decided to corrupt itself in the process of getting onto YouTube, so I'm not really sure what happened there. So I am going to record this now live, and it's basically just a discussion video about update 1.22, and I guess a few concerns I have, surrounding the update, and I guess around Polyphony as a company in general. Now, recently I've uploaded quite a few videos basically discussing what we as a community would like, and myself obviously, for update 1.22 and beyond. And we had some really good suggestions, bringing back these classic tracks. Then we had obviously some quality of life improvements, a lot of kind of suggestions towards more endurance races, especially for every event. The thought of kind of having an auction store, selling cars obviously, and all that good stuff. Now, if you didn't know, Porsche the other day on their YouTube community page, I believe, basically uploaded what was essentially I guess a teaser for an upcoming car to Gran Turismo 7. That being a more roadster version of this, the Porsche VGT. All closed cockpit, very kind of cool looking, but it kind of got me thinking, like, are Polyphony not listening? The fact that that might be one of the free cars we get with update 1.22 really does have me thinking, is Polyphony listening at all? There's so many kind of outcries for certain cars, certain tracks, a lot more events, and again they've kind of gone back to VGT cars. Now, if you remember a few updates ago, or maybe a few months at this point, we had the Suzuki VGT added. Then one update later, we had the Group 3 version. Now, for me, that was kind of just a slap in the face anyway, because we could have had much more wanted cars than those. I don't think anybody asked for any more Suzukis in the game, or, well, in that form anyway, apart from obviously the Pikes Peak. And it just kind of felt massively disappointing. And that's the thing with VGT cars, there's plenty of them, we don't really need any more. So the fact that they are kind of focusing on that instead of kind of going for what we asked for, and one of the main things is update the car roster. So that being that most of the models of cars in this game go up to 2016 or 2017 and have previously been seen within Gran Turismo Sport. There's not much in the way of any real kind of updated brand new models for like the likes of Porsche, Ferrari, etc., bar a few which are already a couple of years old, which kind of gets me thinking, why go ahead and focus on these VGT cars when there's so many of them, when people are literally crying out for brand new real life, official non-fantasy road cars? So it really does kind of get me thinking, like, what is going on? Like, what is the mind of Polyphony at the minute? They've had this outcry really ever since the game came out. They've mentioned selling cars all the way back in, I believe, like April or May time, and there's still so many missing features in this game, but yet they're happy to basically build on a car that has been in the game since day one and just do a different version of it by essentially just chopping its head off. It just seems really kind of weird and gets me kind of worried about where is update 1.22 gonna go. I mean, if you kind of remember back, which I'm sure we all pretty much do, update 1.20 landed and it had a good car in it, one of the kind of most wanted cars I think I've ever seen, that really did build up hype, which was obviously Ayrton Senna's McLaren MP4-4. But that was really about it in terms of events and tracks. We got essentially nothing we really wanted, and it was probably the weakest ever update to Gran Turismo 7 yet, which kind of gets me thinking. I've heard a lot recently of, players basically turning around and saying, look, I keep my eye out on Gran Turismo 7 updates, but if the update isn't, very good or content rich, I won't even bother coming back just for that update or even to try the new cars. And that's very worrying at this point. If update 1.22 doesn't really kind of hit the nail on the head and, start giving us things we've been crying out for months, then I feel like Gran Turismo 7's at a massive risk of losing even some of its most loyal players. And from my perspective, as a content creator for Gran Turismo that tries to, keep daily videos going and basically try and keep the game as fresh as possible, it's getting very difficult at this point to really come up with any new ideas or really kind of bring proper GT7 content out. It's really kind of just putting me in a situation where I feel like sooner rather than later, I may even have to move my content over to a more full, different game full time. But at the same time, I just don't want to. Gran Turismo has always been a very special series to me. Seeing Gran Turismo 7 get announced, I knew exactly what I wanted to do for YouTube. I knew exactly the direction I wanted to take. And I just feel like we are essentially, as a community, fighting a losing battle at this point with Polyphony, who really just don't seem to care about what the community thinks in general. And I genuinely feel like it's getting to the point where it may be their downfall. I get it, it's all good, you're announcing movies and stuff like that, but look, who really cares? You've got a game out that essentially got finished in an unreleased state, had plenty of cars kind of data mined, and again, it's just like, well, why weren't they in there in the first place? If their full models are already there, why are you not releasing them already? Why not go and focus on cars that people are crying out for? Just don't leave them sitting. And obviously, look, don't get me started on the drip-free content. I think we all know at this point, it's not my, favorite thing. It's not really my cup of tea. And yeah, I just feel like, update 1.22 is just going to kind of land Polyphony even hotter water than they're already in. Like, look, this game is getting on a bit now. The hype has died down. I've seen plenty of people that were like, look, this game's going to last for 5 years, basically turn their back on it and, realize, look, this is what people were complaining about since day one. And the fact that, like I said, we're a bit further into the life cycle of this game, and it feels like not too much has changed. We definitely need a massive bulk up in terms of events. We need more than just 3 cars a month. We need just a lot more to keep this game alive and keep it healthy. In terms of single player people, I guess, it's very much lacking. If you're, solely into sport mode, you're probably quite happy with that. However, I've also seen those guys kind of complain and say, look, there's too many repetitive tracks. There's so many tracks kind of ignored and, ones that we've never really seen in a way that we'd like them. It's kind of, look, Polyphony, you need to really just knuckle down, focus on this product, and just kind of get it where people want it, or else, Gran Turismo just will never be the same again, and that's not what we want. So thank you so much for watching. I just thought I'd kind of, discuss my worries around, obviously, this recent announcement that, why aren't Polyphony listening? I don't think anybody ever asked for a roadster version of this electric car, or, well, any more VGT cars. So, yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, guys. Peace.